everybody, this is Elise Tager, Facebook ad strategist. I am delighted that you're here today. Let me just get my screen configured there. Here. So let me start over again. Good morning, this is Elise Tager, Facebook ad strategist, and I just want to give you a great big welcome for joining me today. Don't know how you found me. You may have found me through a Facebook ad or on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or any one of a number of places. But regardless of how you got here, I'm glad you're here. And I just want to welcome you to what I think is going to be a very valuable webinar for you. So just a little bit of housekeeping. We're using GoToWebinar today. I don't know if you are familiar with that, but I've got you all on mute. If you have a question or a comment, type it into the question box. If you look at the right-hand side of your screen in that gray box, you'll see a little arrow that says, an area that says questions. Type your questions in there or comments. I'll get to those at the end of the webinar. I'm sure we'll have time and answer any questions that you have. I will do my best. If there are too many questions, then I won't be able to get to them all, but typically that doesn't happen, so I will be happy to answer questions. In fact, just so I know that I'm not speaking into the ozone here, if you would quickly type in what, can you hear me and can you see my screen? So yes, yes, no, no, just to let me know that you are able to see me so I'm not speaking into thin air. I'll just wait a second to hear from everybody. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, and then just quickly, where is everybody from? I know I've got some friends from the UK who are tuning in here today. I've got some friends from Australia, so this is sort of an around the world webinar, but oh good. Okay, good. I see North Carolina, I see the UK, awesome. Well, great, I'm so delighted. An international webinar, I'm delighted. So let's get started. So this is for you. This webinar is for you. If your last Facebook campaign was a total flop, or you're just not willing to risk it again, or you've tried and tried and tried and tried to research how to set up ads on your own, or you've tried to do ads on your own, but it all sounds like a bunch of gibberish and you're over trying to decode this for yourself. This is not an easy task. You know you don't have the time or money or energy or enough caffeine, no matter how much coffee you drink, to learn all there is to know about Facebook ads. And frankly, you have no desire to, and I totally understand that. But you do want a consistent and scalable source of leads and a predictable revenue, and you think that Facebook might be the way to make that happen, but you're not quite sure how to make that happen. And that's why you joined me today. And I'm glad, because if any of these are the case for you, you are in the right place. So just for a treat, I just want to assure you that this is not going to be a sales pitch. I have nothing to sell you today. I have nothing to sell you today. So relax. Usually I start a webinar, if I'm attending one, with sort of my shoulders hunched, because I know the pitch is coming at the end. I have nothing to sell you. So I just want to educate you a little bit about how Facebook can really build your business and have you make some decisions on your own about how you want to proceed with that. So no sales today. So just a little bit about me. Some of you on the webinar today know me, but most of you don't. I've been in direct marketing my whole career. So I've been running successful businesses as an entrepreneur for over 20 years. I had a media buying agency for 11 years, focusing on lead generation and then later social media strategies. So I've been in this online marketing space and in social media for quite a while. I've been a speaker and a trainer and an educator, all on online marketing. So what I do now, I craft profitable Facebook ads and digital campaigns like they're going out of style. This is just my jam. I love this, which is why I'm excited to be able to share it with you to make sure that you're making the most out of this opportunity. So, but my knowledge and expertise are really rooted in good old-fashioned and timeless rules of direct response and customer acquisition. You know, the online medium is new, but there's nothing new in marketing. But learning how to use the online tools to really optimize your opportunity there is where I bring both the expertise of all of my marketing knowledge plus my expertise in the online world, and specifically Facebook, that's going to help you the most. And that's probably how I get my clients, is my combination of marketing expertise, or old school marketing and new school marketing. So it's kind of a good combination of both. And somewhere in my evolution, I fell in love with with Facebook as an advertising medium. I help my clients craft the most productive and cost-effective campaigns to grow their business. And I'll tell you more about that later in the webinar. But that is my jam. I love Facebook advertising. I love the strategy of putting together good campaigns, good long-term campaigns, and I really love working with entrepreneurs and helping their businesses grow. So another thing about me, you're looking at pictures of my family. Family is my everything. I know a lot of people say that, but boy, for me, that's absolutely true. So you can see my sweet husband in the lower left-hand side, my now grown up and left the nest daughter in the middle, Isabel, and Sam on the right-hand side is my oldest son. He's 19 and in film school, and he's going to win the Oscars and thank his mother. But this is my why, and I just wanted to share with you the reason I get up every morning is these lovely people. I also have a long history, as I say, of training and presenting and educating to large crowds and to groups of entrepreneurs who've really benefited from what I have to bring to the table. So that's sort of a sum total of who I am, and if we decide to work together in the future, this is what I'll bring to the table, me and my family and my love of life-work balance. So why is this important to you? Not my family, but why is Facebook advertising strategy important to you? Do you want more leads? I'm assuming that's a yes. Do you want more revenue? And I'm assuming that's a yes. But the real result for you is not just getting leads and increasing your revenue. If we can automate your system so that you are getting those leads and an increased revenue on an automated, you don't have to look at it, you set it and forget it, you're going to have so much more business freedom in your business. So you're not going to have the necessity of doing so much networking, so many other types of advertising. I know a lot of us who are entrepreneurs have spent a long time making sure that they've built a presence in all different kinds of locations and just want to make sure that your name is out there. If we can streamline this such that you have all the leads coming in you want with the minimum of effort, I think that's going to really make your business hum. I know it is. So I'm going to share with you some good news and some bad news about online advertising and Facebook in particular, and a couple of behind-the-scenes bits of information that I think are going to help you too. So I don't know about you, but I am sort of overwhelmed constantly by the barrage of online gurus who are telling me how much money they've made in how little amount of time. They had a rags to riches story, but now they're making millions of dollars a year, and they all got there with this one simple system. That may be true, but just know that every single one of those gurus has paid to build their business. It doesn't happen by going to networking events. That helps, but that's not going to help you where you're going to want to get to go quickly and solidly to build your business the way these guys have. So is it true that it takes money to make money? Yes, if you want to grow at something other than a snail's pace. Paid traffic is how all of these guys and gals have built their business, which many of them don't talk about. But truly, if you want to build your business at a rapid scale to a very big height, it takes paid traffic to do that. If you're just relying on organic techniques, which means you're relying on social media or your email list or what have you, you may get there, but you're going to get there at a much, much slower rate. Your business has to be, another thing that many online marketing gurus won't tell you, and especially Facebook ads folks won't tell you, is that your business has to be at the right level of growth to take on incorporating Facebook ad strategy into your marketing arsenal. So if you're going to take Facebook advertising seriously and do it well, you don't want to do it when you're in the beginning stages of your business, which sounds like bad news, but it's a good reality check. It takes money to make money. And until you're at the point where you have a good base business underneath you, where you know you're making you know, 4 to 5K a month without fear, and you can afford to spend money, invest money in yourself and in advertising, don't jump in yet. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later, but give yourself a break and don't start experimenting with marketing tactics that cost money until you are able to weather the testing and the learning of that marketing activity. So there's really no silver bullet in online marketing, but one thing that I would recommend, again, to people who are starting to just expand their marketing techniques is stay focused on one particular lead funnel. So at the risk of, you don't want to get yourself spread too thin with trying to work Instagram, trying to make Twitter work, trying to make Facebook work. My biggest advice to you is pick one platform. Put most of your learning and your money and your effort behind that one platform and really make it hum. And you know I'm going to be the one to recommend Facebook. That's why they're here. But let me build a case a little bit later for why that's the case. So let's talk about that in a little bit more detail. Be careful of bright, shiny objects. So, and I'm very aware of this because I'm in the online marketing space all over the place, and I'm very aware of what's trending, what's new, what you should be concerned with. That's my business to know that from my clients. But you as an entrepreneur have to be very sure that you're not hopping around trying to get on top of trends. Your job as an entrepreneur is to make sure that your lead flow and your revenue stream hums on a consistent and ongoing basis. So again, I want to make sure that you are able to focus your attention and your marketing efforts and dollars in one place, and I'm going to lobby strongly for Facebook. So again, I want to make sure that you're very realistic about this. If you're at the point in your business where you have 4 or 5K coming in a month, and you know with a straight face that you get the mortgage paid and the kids paid, school paid for, and their groceries in the fridge, and you're not fearful about investing in your business, then that's the time to start exploring Facebook advertising. So where we want to get any business to is an automated lead flow. This is ideal. This is your ideal, where you have a consistent source of traffic. If you see in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to be placing ads, Facebook ads. They're going to go to a landing page. That landing page will opt someone in to fill in the blank, to your webinar or to your lead magnet, your freebie giveaway, to an ebook, to whatever it is you're giving away. You're then going to get those people on your email list. And the next step is hopefully you're going to nurture that relationship and convert them to becoming a buyer. But you want to come up with a very simple lead flow that allows you to put this on rinse and repeat, such that you know that as many ads as you place is as many customers as you're going to get on the other side. So the more you can get the testing phase to the point where you are getting that automated lead flow to happen, that's the ideal scenario for any entrepreneur. So just think about that. I mean, that's kind of a staggering concept. How would it feel then if you didn't have to think about where the money was coming from, if you didn't have to think about where your next customer was coming from? I don't know about you, but in the beginning of my business, every time I took on a new client, I was thinking about where the next one was going to come from. Or if I took on a new client, or was thinking about taking on a new client who wasn't ideal, there was a red flag, I didn't think they'd be a good fit, or there was something off, or I just knew this wasn't going to be right for me, I might have taken them anyway because I was so worried about not getting the next client. That's what we want to do away with. We want to get all of our businesses to the point where we have a consistent lead flow of qualified clients who are the kinds of people that you do want to be working with. Because in truth, it's rare that an entrepreneur can rake in the money without doing some work. So you need to be doing the work up front to assure that you're using leverage. You're going to make sure that you've done the work to assure that the leads are coming in, your business is going on and can continue on without me. So if you could automate that lead generation process, wouldn't that cut down on the amount of stress? Believe me, it has worked for me and a lot of my clients. The ideal scenario is for any business to automate the lead prospecting, the prospecting process. And this is where a Facebook strategy comes in and can lead to the difference between super success or unprofitable failure. So what I'm saying here is that if you'd like to just say no to feast or famine, I'd like to invite you to do that. There's nothing worse than having 2 stellar months and you've been busy, busy, busy with clients, and suddenly you turn around and those engagements are done and there's nothing else in the hopper. You have no one else to so you start the prospecting thing all over again, and you go through these periods of being overly busy and then nothing. So this is what we want to do away with. So again, an automated, scalable, consistent lead flow is what we're looking for. So why Facebook? Let me make a case for Facebook for you. And again, I'm sure that you wouldn't be here if you didn't at least partially believe that Facebook was the name of the game. Facebook continues to blow me away. It's the biggest social media platform out there. In fact, it's probably the biggest one of the biggest media platforms in the world today. Almost 2 billion people are on Facebook. Half of them, 1 million plus, I think it's 1.3 million, are on Facebook daily. So I don't care what business you're in, your ideal client is there. The challenge is finding them and seducing them into working with you. But the best targeting opportunities of any of the social media platforms are on Facebook. That's why I'm such a fan. There are lots of ways to get your message out. There's lots of sources of paid traffic, but at this point in time, Facebook is the big gorilla. And I just want to make sure that you understand how significant that is and why, if you're going to focus on one platform, which I encourage you to do to build that automated lead funnel, that you start with Facebook. So what's the risk of not having a Facebook ad strategy? So you're probably going to be the best kept secret. Right? So you might be fabulous at what you do. You might be a fantastic health coach. You might be a great fitness trainer. You might be an excellent CPA. You might be great at what you do and your clients love you, but unless other people know about you and new prospects come knocking on your door, you're not going to have a business. And so, again, you might be just a secret that no one knows about. You have no momentum. If you don't have an automated lead flow happening, you're just not going to have any momentum. That's back to that feast or famine concept. You need a predictable lead and a revenue source that you can turn on and off like a faucet. So back to that feast or famine. It may be that you know in your business that you can only accommodate 4, 6, 10 customers at a time. You have the ability to monitor that through your Facebook ad spend. So you can turn the tap on or off depending upon what you're able to handle from an operations standpoint. Another problem with not having a Facebook ad strategy, not being on Facebook, creating more business for yourself, is that your competition is. Your competition is there. I don't care what business you're in, but many, many, many brands are out there, small and large, are using Facebook. It's one of their primary sources of traffic. If you're not there, you're going to be missing the boat. Your competition is going to be eating up all the potential customers from you. It's crucial that you be using Facebook for what it's so good for a business at this point. But let me also say, again, in strictest honesty, it's not easy. Using Facebook ads is not an easy process. I'd love to tell you that it was, but it's not. So just to be clear, it's easy to learn how to set up a campaign and run a few ads. And when people tell me that Facebook advertising just doesn't work for them, typically what I'm hearing in the back of my mind is, I threw up a few ads, I threw them against the wall, and they didn't convert. And what tells me, again, that tells me that there's no strategy involved. There's no long-term thinking. There's no test and rollout. There's there's no strategy involved, and we'll talk about strategy in a minute. So what they've been done is that what people do typically with Facebook, especially getting started, is they dabble, right? They take a class or they learn how to use Facebook from Facebook, which actually has some great tutorials, but they're dabbling. And so they get in, they try it for a little while, they jump out because it's too expensive, they aren't getting the ROI that they need, and they jump out again. Oh, that didn't work for me. So a little knowledge can be dangerous and expensive, and this is a great case in point. Facebook strategy is a test and iterate thing. You have to be willing to be in it for the long term or longish term to be able to really optimize your opportunity here. You're probably not going to be successful, quote unquote, the first time with your very first campaign. Everything needs to be tested. You need to test your audiences, you need to test your ads, you need to test your copy, you need to test your landing page. Everything you're doing will be a test in the beginning, and you will get better as you go along. But it's going to take some time. It might not be the first campaign, it might not be the first 3 campaigns, but each time you roll out a campaign, you will get better. But it takes tenacity, it takes problem solving and patience to really make Facebook hum for your business. And it takes time. But once you crack the code for your business, there's nowhere to go from up. There's nowhere to go but up, I should say. But again, it takes an understanding of how to make all that happen. So let me get started with some of the nitty-gritty of this, the do's and the don'ts, so I can help you be more successful if you're already on Facebook or if you're in the dabble zone. So as I said in my ad, there are 3 big mistakes that I see even the gurus making, the people who are spending lots on Facebook or have a mighty presence on Facebook. There are at least 3 mistakes that I see over and over again that I want you to be aware of, and I want you to be confident that you're not making these mistakes. So the 3 of them are, and I'll go into more detail as we go on, not having the groundwork in place, not knowing your ad objective, and a lack of understanding of your target audience. So let me break that down for you. What do I mean by groundwork? So Facebook ad strategy is not just the ads themselves, right? It's a combination of things. It's what's your offer? Do you have a sound offer that your target audience actually wants to pay for? Do you have a landing page that people will actually get to and sign up on? Do you have a nurturing system set up for the people who don't initially buy from you? And then there's the ad itself. But let's just start with the basics. If you go into a Facebook campaign without having all of these pieces in place, you're at an extreme disadvantage. So knowing that you have an offer that people want, whether that's a course or an ebook or a mastermind or coaching sessions, know in advance that you have a product or a service that will sell to your target audience. So that's part of the groundwork. The second is the nuts and bolts of it, your landing page. So is this, first of all, is it a standalone landing page? If you're sending people to their website where they're going to be distracted by everything else that you have to offer, you're setting yourself up for failure. So you need a dedicated landing page that is written for the purpose of converting those people who find themselves there to saying, yes, I want this offer. The ad itself has to be well thought through. Are you going to do a photo ad? Are you going to do a video ad? Is that graphical video really relevant to the what you're selling? And Facebook behind the scenes does a very good job of assessing a relevancy. They actually give every ad a relevancy score. So you know if this is resonating with the people that they're serving the ad up to. So, and the last thing do you have a nurture flow, an email nurture flow set up so that the people who haven't said yes to you the first time, you can come back later to with an email, and that might be the very next day, and convert a few more people. All of that has to be groundwork that's laid before you start spending money on the Facebook ads themselves. So going into this concept of a Facebook ad camp strategy without the groundwork there laid and that's solid is setting yourself up for failure. So again, I want to make sure that you feel that you have all those pieces in place to do the excellent job that Facebook can do for you. The second thing that just seems so easy to me, or so straightforward to me, and I'm surprised by how many people make this mistake, setting up an incorrect objective for your Facebook ad. When you go in to set up a Facebook ad, the first thing that Facebook asks you to do is name the campaign, but the second question it asks you is, what is the marketing objective? Which sounds so basic, but the reason that this is critical is that what you're doing is setting up Facebook's algorithm for what the definition of a success is for this campaign. So in other words, if you're boosting a post, and that's the objective of your campaign, the Facebook behind-the-scenes algorithm will continue to serve up ads to the kinds of people who have liked your post in the past. So it's sort of training itself to get you the most success for an ad, for a post boost. If you're saying that my objective is to get people to my landing page, you might think that's what everybody wants, right? I've got a landing page, I want to send traffic there, that's my ultimate objective. But in truth, you're trying to get people to sign up for something. So what you're really looking for is increased conversions on your website. So in the far right-hand column in the top, one of the objectives is increasing your conversions on your website. That's typically most of the campaigns that I run are increasing conversions. Why is this important? If you set up your campaign with the incorrect objective, you're giving Facebook and all of its machinations, its algorithms, the wrong information about how it can achieve success for you. And I've watched this happen, where a client has said, I really want people to go to my website, and my objective is traffic to my website, and they can't understand why people aren't signing up for their lead magnet. So be very crystal clear about what your objective is and set it up correctly, especially with video, and I'll talk about video a little bit later, but it could be that what you're really looking for is to get video views, to build that audience, and do some retargeting. So be very thoughtful about how you set up your campaign, and the first question you need to answer to get you the best results is what your objective is. So the last mistake that I see an awful lot of people make, and the gurus make this as well, is not really knowing who their audience is or who their audiences are. And again, this seems like a no-brainer. I know that I sell to female entrepreneurs who are between the ages of 25 and 45, and they live on the West Coast and what have you. Easy to do. I mean, that's easy to spec out. But to make Facebook successful, you really need to know a whole lot more about your audience. You need to know, you have to create a customer avatar so that you really have an in-depth knowledge of who that target audience is. What blogs do they read? What Facebook pages do they look at? What media do they participate in? What magazines do they read? What are the demographics? What's their age range, their sex? If geography is important to your offer, can you identify what geography is important? What interests do they have? Are they knitters? Are they entrepreneurs? Are they whatever? There has to be much more depth to your understanding of your audience if you're going to have rollout potential with your Facebook campaigns. So if you just know, and targeting opportunities. So if you just say that your target audience is an entrepreneur who's a woman between the age of 24 to 55 and she lives on the West Coast, that is really broad. And it's not going to allow you to really hone in on the people who are most likely to say yes to your offer, and or it's not going to allow you to craft ads that are specifically are going to resonate with that specific audience. So again, the biggest mistake that I see is that people have not taken the time in detail to outline their customer avatar. So 3 things that we talked about. The more you know about your customer, the more able you are to really create a successful Facebook ad campaign. So those are 3 big mistakes that to me seem kind of obvious, but they happen, maybe because they are so obvious, but they happen a lot. So I just wanted to point those out to you. So let's talk about some do's. And I want to, those are the don't do's, and now we want to talk about the do-do's in Facebook ad strategy. So I want to Here's some I want to share some powerful tricks of the trade that you want to start using now. And some of this stuff is my behind the scenes secrets. I've been doing Facebook ad campaigns forever, and I've learned. I mean, I know a tremendous amount. So let me share some of the more advanced strategies that are going to help you get better at what you do. One of the reasons that Facebook is difficult, I mean, it's easy to, as I said, set up a campaign and fly it out the door, but there's so many nuances, and there are lots of tricks that will get you a far better ROI if you know what you're doing. So a couple that I want to talk about today are the use of video and the whole concept of retargeting. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes with some of the more advanced stuff that I do with my clients to get them the best ROI that we possibly can for them. So as I said earlier, the whole concept behind a campaign, a Facebook ad strategy, is the concept of a strategy. And you want to be going through an initial testing phase. And this, again, is where people get stuck. What they really do is they throw a bunch of ads up there. It might be a lot of ads up there, but there's no rhyme or reason about what they're trying to learn, what they're trying to accomplish, and how they will then roll out from the testing that they've done. So let me talk about that testing strategy that you will want to undertake if you're going to be able to really roll out in a big way. So that initial test phase is going to be where you're testing to 20 or 30, maybe 10, 20 or 30 cold audiences. And by that I mean people who are not on your email list, people who are not liking don't know your Facebook, they don't know you from a hole in the ground. So this is where you've just gone in and picked audiences on Facebook that are cold to you. They don't know you, you don't know them. But you do, again, having done your customer avatar, you know that they are your target audience and they're most likely to be interested in the offer that you're doing. So you're going to pick 20, again, the numbers are relevant, 10, 20, 30 cold audiences depending upon your budget. And you're going to test them for 4 or 5 days for every product that you offer. So let me go back a second. Why 4 or 5 days? 4 or 5 the Facebook algorithm learns by doing. So the more Facebook serves up your ads per your description in your campaign, the better it gets. And it takes Facebook 48 hours or so to really start humming with showing your traffic to the right people who are most likely to convert. If you look at your ads 2 hours, 3 hours, 4, even 24 hours out, you're not going to see the level of success that you'll see after 48 or 72 hours. So it takes 3 days anyway to really get any campaign that you're doing up and humming. I also am suggesting that you do this amount of ad sets, which is what I mean by a cold audience or an increment, so that you're really finding out as much as you can about which pieces of the audience are going to be successful for you and which ones aren't. Again, this is a testing and iteration process. So out of the 20 ad sets that you're testing, and that might be 20 different audiences, it might be that 5 of them are phenomenal, 5 of them are okay, and 10 of them suck. So at the next stage, you would stop using the 10 that were not working at all, and you start tweaking the ones that were. So that's what I mean by a test and iteration. That testing phase is doing as much research up front as you possibly can with your testing process. In that same vein, in this testing process, you're going to want to test 2 to 4 ads. And so when someone says, I tested an ad and it didn't work for me, my thought was, why 1 ad? Why not 4 ads? So you really have something to learn in this testing process. So at least be testing 2 ads, 1 photo ad, a video ad, to make sure that you have a point of reference. Which one is going to do better than the other? Even on the landing page side, you can do an A/B split, a split test on that landing page, so you can learn something about what's going to do better, what version is going to do better than another. So you always want to be testing with an eye towards learning from what your activities are and your spend is, so that you can do a better job. Your ROI is better every time you roll out. So again, you're going to be creating a strategy that's going to be a test phase and you want to learn as much as you possibly can. It is cheaper to test on a free opt-in than it is trying to sell a course or a webinar or what have you, because the cost of the likelihood of someone saying yes to your offer is low, right? It doesn't cost them any money to say yes. So you're more likely to have a cost per conversion that's low. And you can start building your email list and then start also promoting whatever it is that you do to your email list in addition to Facebook ads. The underlying message here is you want to always be testing. So even if you're starting to roll out after that first testing phase, you want to test. I always save 10 to 20% of my media spend on testing. A few more ads, some new ad sets, just to make sure that you're always learning to maximize your growth opportunity as you continue to get better and to roll out. So here's a sample test campaign that I just made this up for a client. So we've taken, on the left-hand side, I'm set at the top, we're targeting US only. The age range is 35 to 54. We're only talking to females. And the placement's going to be Facebook only. We're not looking at Instagram. We're not looking at anything else but Facebook. And then the details of which ad sets or which Facebook pages we're targeting are on the left-hand side. So for this client, we've looked at Marie Forleo, we've looked at Amy Porterfield, Murray Smith, Ali Brown. So the ones on the left-hand side are the Facebook pages that we're targeting. And then you'll see as we go across the right-hand side, I've got 3 ads that we're testing, ad 1, ad 2, and ad 3. So I can see, for example, Marie Forleo, that second one down, I've got ad 1 and ad 2. And so I'm going to be able to see which of those 2 ads responded best, converted best for that particular ad set. Then I'm going to plug in how much I want to spend per day on each of those ad sets, and then how many days I'm running this. This gives my total spend. So for this sample test campaign, I will have spent, at the end of 3 days, I will have spent $495 to test 3 ads and, 10 or 12 ad sets. So I will have learned a lot at the end of $495 in 3 days. This is what you want to set yourself up to do. So you're learning a lot. You know how to tweak, to optimize, and roll out from there. So that's typically the kind of test that we'll run for our clients to get started. So another behind the scenes that I don't think that many people are aware of, certainly the people who are just dabbling in Facebook are not aware of this gem. This is a gold mine. This is called retargeting, and you may or may not be familiar with this. But what this is if they've seen a Facebook ad that you've run, and they've gone to your landing page, and they took a look, and they didn't opt in, for whatever the reason, they weren't in the mood at that moment, or they got distracted, or they weren't interested in what you were offering, what you can do is you can capture that person with a pixel, it's called. It's a little tiny piece of code that is put on the landing page. And then you can go in and retarget or send another ad to those people that hit the landing page but didn't opt in. So in other words, it's traffic that came to your landing page but didn't do anything. So you might be saying, why would I want to talk to them again? Well, we all know that it takes several times. A sale takes several interactions to consummate. So in other words, you don't buy a new car the first time you hear about the car, right? It takes exposure to advertising and to commercials and to someone else driving the car. You need to be exposed multiple times before you're making a buying decision. Same is true on any opt-in situation where someone goes to your landing page and they say, maybe, but maybe not. But they have exhibited enough interest to go to that landing page. So it's in your best interest to capture those people, which this pixel does, and send another ad to them that might be a little bit different, that might get them to go, oh, okay, I see that's a little bit different. I will opt in now. So this is called retargeting. And retargeting can happen on your opt-in page, so you don't lose that traffic. It can be set up on your website, so you can put a little pixel on every page of your website. So if someone has come to your website at any time in the last 30, 60, 90, 120 days, you will have captured their IP, their address, not their email address, but you'll be able to send a retargeted ad to them. So again, this is the last thing you want to have happen with your website is to have someone hit it and go away. This is a way to retarget the people who've already raised their hand and said, that's kind of interesting. So you have the opportunity to retarget website traffic. You also have the opportunity to retarget from videos, and I'll spend some time on video in the next slide, but this is really, really interesting. So if you're running video ads or if you're running a video, you have a lot of opportunity to retarget the people who have viewed your videos. So let me talk about video for a second, because this is such a primary area of interest and success in Facebook ad campaigns. Videos, Facebook tells us that they have 8 billion average daily video views a day. That knocks my socks off. Facebook users rack up 100 million hours of daily video watch time. So Facebook, in its brilliance, is now favoring video. So what that means is anytime that you're posting a video or a Facebook Live or using a video in your ads, you are going to get much better reach at a much lower cost, because Facebook's algorithm now is such that it's favoring video. So some other things to know about video: silence is golden. 85% of videos are watched without sound on. So if you're going to run video ads, or if you're going to run a video if you're going to load a video onto your Facebook, make sure that the captions are on, so that you have the opportunity to get more engagement with those videos. Oops. Sorry, I want to go back. Let me just finish that concept of video. One of the incredible things about retargeting, sorry, let me go back because I just lost my place here. One moment, please. Videos. Okay, so I talked earlier about the ability to retarget from video. One of the things that Facebook set up within the last, let's say 6 months, is they have an opportunity for you to be, one of your objectives to be video views. And so what that means is in your Facebook ad, you put a video on there and you can have the objective be video views, and you can set the view to the amount of time. So if someone has watched 25% of your video, that means they're somewhat interested. If they've watched 50% of your video, that's a different pixel that you'd set up. Then you can target them with a different level of ad. If they've watched 75%, they're really interested in what you're doing, and you can retarget them with a different ad. So what you're doing is you're using video to not only attract people, but gauge their level of interest in what you're selling, and then retarget to them. This is really, really powerful. On top of that, if that wasn't good enough, the fact that Facebook is favoring these ads and these retargeting opportunities is going to make the ad spend on these ad sets low. So they're going to be giving you the most amount of reach for you spending the least amount of money, which is what you're always hoping for, right? Big ROI with a little bit of spend. Oops, I just added a slide. Didn't mean to do that. So let's take a step back and talk about what we've covered. It takes money to make money if you want to grow quickly. You can grow organically, but I guarantee that if you want to be making the kind of money that's going to make you comfortable and help your family and put the kids through college, you don't want to grow too slowly. You want to grow quickly and big by whatever your standards are. We covered the power of Facebook and why you want to be focused on it for your ads. Stay focused on one platform. I really want you to think about Facebook being that one platform. We talked about the necessity of eliminating feast or famine in your business. This is critical. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you need to know that you have some source of revenue that can be predictable, and you can take that to the bank, literally. We've discussed the challenge of working with Facebook ads. If I didn't convince you already, there's a lot to know. So we covered the 3 primary mistakes to avoid, and I revealed some trade secrets of getting the best results. Let me tell you, though, about those trade secrets. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more to know to really do a good job with Facebook. So I just touched on just a very, very tippy top of that information. Why is this adding ads? So if you want to do Facebook advertising yourself, great. you can opt to do this by yourself, and I congratulate you. But let me just couple caveats. Don't dabble, right? Don't be one of those people who throws a few ads around against the wall to see if they work. You spend a couple $100 and then you walk away saying that was a waste of time. Don't do that. Educate yourself, take courses, read up, and stay on top of Facebook changes. I can't say this strongly enough. Facebook changes the rules almost daily. I mean, I've been in situations in the past week where there was a new objective that was available one day and it disappeared the next. I don't know what games Facebook is playing. They're in charge. It's their playground. But it takes study and it takes being involved to stay up on Facebook changes. If you are going to do this yourself, stay consistent, run campaigns monthly. So allocate X amount of your marketing dollars to run campaigns consistently so you always have people joining your email list. You always have people coming in as leads. So if you want to do that yourself, great. But I want to warn you, though, or I want to point out to you that if you are doing this yourself, you are probably not operating within your own zone of genius. You didn't start this business to be a marketer, unless you're a marketing consultant. But you probably started this business to do whatever it is that you do best, to be a coach, to be whatever, to create your courses, to be a health leader, whatever you do in your business, that's what you should be doing. That's what you're an expert in. So every hour of your week that you are dedicating to either learning Facebook or running Facebook campaigns is keeping you out of your own your zone of genius. And you are probably not using your time best to get more revenue coming in. It might be interesting and fun, but this is probably not where you should be spending your time. If you are at the point in your business where you are considering a serious Facebook ad strategy, and you're also at the point in your business when it's time for you to get out of the driver's seat and outsource to experts, you do what you do best to grow your business exponentially. You should be focused on creating new revenue. What you should be focusing on in your zone of genius is creating new revenue opportunities, finding new partners, creating new content, working with the clients you have, learning more about how to better serve them. This is where you should be focusing your CEO of attention. This is the point where you need to set yourself apart to scale. So it's up to you, really, what you want to be doing. You have a choice. If you're going to really grow in 2017, are you going to grow, or are you going to just inch along like a little guy here? So if the idea of doing your own Facebook ads with all that we talked about today makes you want to lie down and take a nap, I totally understand that. In the beginning, it made me want to lie down and take a nap too, but that's not what I'm hoping for you. We can help you get there. We can help you scale your business and break through. If you're at 6 figures to 7, if you're doing 5K a month, get you to 10K a month. We're here, my team and I are here to help you create a Facebook ad strategy that's going to get you out of where you are, break through your revenue ceiling, as I said in the title, faster than you could on your own. So let me just tell you a little bit about what we do as a Facebook ad strategist team and how we might be able to help you. So we do the kind of campaigns, we set up the kind of campaigns that I talked about you earlier in that description of what a test is. When we work together with a new client, we have an initial 90-minute consultation to get very clear on what your goals are, to understand your business, to get clear on what your goals are and what your objectives are. And we will define your opt-in offer and make sure that we understand exactly what your goals are. Then we're going to create your ideal client avatar. Remember, I talked about the fact that most people don't spend enough time understanding their client. So if we're going to be creating Facebook ads for you, we really have to dig deep and understand not only about the details of your client, but how we're going to find them on Facebook for you. So we need to do a lot of research for you. We need to do some digging so that really we can find as many opportunities as we can to get to your potential customer on Facebook. We then create a testing matrix similar to the one that I showed you. The one I showed you was pretty simple. They can get much more complex. They can get even simpler still. But we come up with a test matrix based on your budget and the length of time that you want to be in test mode, and we present it to you for your approval. None of this happens without your approval. None of this happens without your okay on a budget. None of this goes forward until you've approved copy and content and everything else. So you're in charge. We review with you your final opt-in offer, your ad copy, your images, and your landing page copy to optimize, to make sure they're optimized for results. If we see that they aren't, we'll come back to you with suggestions. We can provide copywriters if you need help with that. We want to make sure that your groundwork is laid so that you have the most likelihood for success. And then once you've signed off on the matrix, the strategy, we implement that. So we're the one who are going to set up custom audiences. We're going to go into Power Editor, the dreaded Power Editor, and set up that campaign. We're going to do the ad campaign creation, that split testing, the monitoring, and scaling. So we do all the implementation and optimization that campaign is going to need. If you need help on the tech side with installing your pixels, I talked about pixels and the retargeting, we'll help you with that as well. We provide, we optimize on an ongoing basis. So once we're live and your campaigns are going, we take a look every day, but we're really going to take a look at the end of 3 days, 1 week, and every week thereafter. We pull a report every week for you so you can see what's happening, and we get back to you via email if we think that things are going far afield and we need to make some big strategy changes, or we are on track and where everything is going well. We have 2 additional 60-minute consultation sessions to be used in a month or 2 or 3 to assess how we're doing plan versus goals, so we know that we're on target to achieve your goals. As I said, we produce weekly reports, and we do ongoing laser email coaching to help you make sure that you're on track with where you want to get. So basically, once we've gotten to know each other, we know your business, we've outlined your testing matrix and your strategy, we then take it from there and report back to how you're doing. And then as we go on together, we evolve. So it might be that that test campaign gets tripled in size for the next month that we're out, or quadrupled in size because you're doing so much more of an ROI. It might be that you need to pull back a little bit because you're getting too much business and you want to slow it down. This is where our ability to work with you on an ongoing basis really helps us become a team to work together. So that's the kind of thing that we do for you. So just some happy clients I want to share you with. It's always nice to find people who love you. So this is my friend Tom Petty. Tom has been a client of mine for quite a while. And he says, Tom is an SEO guy and a web developer, so he knows his tech. And he was the first one to say, you know, I'm trying to make Facebook ads work and I can't. And I'm sick of fooling around with it. So I started working with Tom, my team and I started working with Tom about 3 months ago. And we have his lead flow humming, and he is a happy camper. And this whole concept of a strategic work where we're setting up a testing process from which we roll out was a new thought to him. He'd never heard about retargeting. We really made his campaigns hum, and he now has steady business coming in. He is a happy camper. Another one, Karen Rice, my good friend Karen, is a nutritionist and a healthy living coach at Joyful Living. Karen said, Elise, it's been fantastic to work with. I'm a delight. So her expertise with Facebook advertising is undeniable. She has shown us how successful Facebook ads can be for our business because, again, Karen and her partner tried Facebook ads for about a year, and they just weren't getting the ROI that they wanted. They weren't getting any consistency. As she said, we'd wasted many dollars and much time not finding success. We're now spending less to get more people into our program than ever before. If you're on the fence about working with Elise, jump off now. Thanks, Karen. That's really nice to hear. So what brings you here today? Are you happy with the number and quality of leads you're getting? What number and quality of leads you're getting? Do you have a consistent, predictable source of revenue? Is your email list growing consistently? Is your revenue where you want it to be? My guess is the answer to one, if not all, these questions is no. And that's why you hopped on this webinar, and I'm so glad you're here. If that's the case for you, I would love to talk to you. So I'd like to invite you to call me for a discovery call. It'll be about 45 minutes. There's the URL that you would type in to get to my calendar and to schedule a call based on your availability and mine so we can spend 45 minutes talking on a session together. So we'll discuss, in that call, we'll discuss your business and your goals and explore how we might be able to work together. So when you click on that link, it's going to take you to my online calendar, and you'll pick a date that works for you and set up the appointment. And then you're going to be given a link to get to a questionnaire. And I'd like you to fill out that questionnaire in as much depth as you can. It doesn't take long, it's just eight questions or so. But the reason for that is I want to know more about your business and to hear how you answer those questions so we can really optimize the time that we spend together on the phone so we're really using it well. So another thing I want to promise again is this is just a discovery call. There's no pressure. I don't have a team of sales guys back here who's trying to convert you. I just want to explore whether or not we can get a Facebook strategy up and running for you, or if you're already dabbling and you want, or you're doing even well, if you're doing well and you just want this off your desk and you want to outsource it to a team of experts, we're your people. So please call. We'd love to be able to have a discovery call with you. I'm going to leave that link up there so you can type it in and call us now. We'd love to talk to you. Again, 45 minutes, no pressure. You'll learn a lot. I'll learn a lot. I think it'd be a great use of your time. So that's it for me. I just want to see if there are any questions. If so, I can answer them now. And if not, then I want to thank you for your time, and I hope to hear from you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for spending an hour of your day with me today. I really appreciate it. Take care.